Alrighty, y'all. We have reached that time finally, with 28 years officially out in the world. It is now time to rank the Rage Virus Trilogy for now until January. We're looking at 3 films, 28 days, 28 weeks, and 28 years later, and each one has its own strengths. This series has never really dipped below good, in my opinion, but this is how I rank them today, and this list could very well change depending on how the Bone Temple delivers next January. So with that, let's jump right in. Coming at number 3.
Look at what's in front of you. Booze, 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 booze. Moving up and down again. Men go mad.
Very surprisingly so, at 28 years later, the most recent of the franchise. Now, don't get it twisted. I did like this movie. In fact, I actually think it has a super strong opening, and the performances are great. They're fantastic, really. The kid playing Spike outshines everybody, and that's saying a lot when you've got Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Jodie Comer, and Ralph Fiennes at the cast. You know, I love the visuals, I love the synth-heavy score, and the introduction of the alphas, for example, especially the one named Samson, was a cool evolution of the Rage Virus in general, and you can tell that Danny Boyle and Alex Garland were swinging for something different here. But what knocks it down a few pegs for me is that the zombie action felt a little less intense than earlier entries, and there's less chaos and less fear, at least for me. And that ending is, while bold and metaphorical, is just kind of goofy. And for a lot of people like me, tonally it doesn't match the rest of the movie at all. But still, it is a solid film. Don't get it twisted. Like I said, beautifully made, emotionally grounded, but it feels like part 1 of something bigger, and right now it doesn't quite stand on its own until we have those other 2 releases. Coming in at number 2. We have 28 Weeks Later. The number 2 spot, 28 Weeks Later, is a sequel that expanded the world and cranked the intensity up to 11. Right from that opening farmhouse escape, this movie grabs you and does not let go. The rage infected are here, and it's absolutely terrifying. And it's very claustrophobic panic that the original had, but still also making it much more alive. The U.S. military gets involved, which brings a whole new level of scale and moral conflict. Jeremy Renner, Rose Byrne, and Idris Elba, it's part of the stacked cast. The themes of betrayal, bioethics, and generational trauma hit hard, and that rooftop napalm scene is chilling. It's not as personal or intimate as the first film, for example, but it is bigger, more explosive in this sequel, and it delivers. If the franchise ended here, it'd still be considered a win. Coming at number 1.
Hello?
Is what everybody knew and expected. 28 Days Later, you just cannot beat this film. It is the original. The film is iconic. Danny Boyle dropped one of the most important horror movies of the 2000s, and he redefined zombie cinema in the process without even really using zombies. From the empty streets of London to that haunting use of In the House and a Heartbeat, this movie is raw, it's grounded, and deeply emotional. Cillian Murphy's journey from confused survivor to hardened fighter is one of the best arcs in horror. The Rage Virus was something totally new, and it made everything feel urgent, brutal, and real. But it's not just the horror. This movie has something to say about humanity, for example, about society and survival. And then, even over 20 years later, it still hits just as hard. 28 Days Later is the foundation and the gold standard for the entire franchise. So with that is my list for now. Coming at number 3, we got 28 Years Later, 2 is 28 Weeks Later, and number 1 is 28 Days Later. Let me know how you guys would rank them down in the comments. The 28 Years Later work for you? Is Weeks underrated, or are you still holding strong for the original like myself? And don't forget, this isn't the end. We're doing a follow-up next January when 28 Years Later, Bone Temple hits theaters. We will revisit this ranking then, because something tells me that a sequel could shake things up. Until then, keep your distance, stay safe from the infected, and I will catch you guys on the next one.